It's time for the #1 sports talk show in the world, Sports Talk Uncut on the Vent Radio Network. And here's your hosts, Ike and Brandan.
What it is, what's the deal, what up, though? However you like to be introductions to. I said introductions, yes I did. It's your boy Brandan. I'm here with your boy
Beast Thriller.
What's going down? We want to first send out some wishes and some love to our man Ike. We holding it down for you, Ike, man. Still got you in our prayers, fella.
What up, Ike?
So, man, we're gonna kick the show off today with one of Ike's boys, MSU alum, Mateen Cleaves. Mateen Cleaves in the news, and it's not really basketball related. So, allegedly, Mr. Mateen Cleaves, allegedly, that's the word because ain't nothing proven. Allegedly, he was at a party where after the party, he took a young lady somewhere and supposedly sexually assaulted her. So it's now the case was dropped by Genesee County due to some conflict of interest with one of the witnesses is what they're telling us. And now Wayne County picked it up. So Kim Worthy's office.
Well, was it dropped?
Transferred. That's what
okay.
I mean. You know, when I say dropped by them and picked up by Wayne County, transferred over because of a conflict of interest with one of the potential witnesses. So my thing is this. And I guess it's two ways. It's two, like we know, it's two sides to every story.
It's three sides.
Oh yeah, it's your side, my side, and the truth. I got you. Well, I got two questions though. So the question is, with a guy like Mateen Cleaves, who's never had a persona of something that would remotely resemble this type of behavior, is this just somebody who sees a chance? When we talk about the lady, is this somebody who sees a chance to gain some notoriety, get some money out of a situation because, you know, it was a he versus me type of thing and there's really nobody there that can say otherwise? Or is this a situation where this guy has two faces, one face in public and in front of friends and family that's close to him, and another face when he closed the bedroom doors? I don't know which one it is, guys. I'm confused on this one, and I know we don't have enough details really to draw a true conclusion, which we, you know, until it all plays out. But I thought it was an interesting topic to touch on with a show like ours, where we ain't gotta be scared. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. What's your thoughts on it, B?
Well, based on the alleged charges, and like I said, we don't have all the information, but it kind of seems weird to me. What happened was a party, and they went to this party. The girl that was sexually assaulted had her boyfriend, allegedly sexually assaulted, was at a party. Give you the details here real quick. Before the alleged sexual assault, Cleaves, the alleged victim, her boyfriend and others went to a bar, had drinks, and left about 1 a.m. Prosecutors said in a statement. The woman's boyfriend gave a friend a ride home and rode with Cleaves, thinking they would return to the golf club where this party was at. But then instead he took her to a hotel in West Grand Blanc and allegedly did a sexual assault. She ran out during this process and ran to the next room for help, which another woman was witness to, I suppose. So I'm just thinking that, first of all, this whole case is kind of sketchy just by what they put out there. First of all, why did the boyfriend take the friend home and didn't take his girlfriend with him?
That's a good question, but
well, maybe she wasn't really his girlfriend. Maybe she was, just
well, if they put it, if the media puts it in there that was her boyfriend, I would stick to that scenario because they pick up
you got a whole lot of trust in the media.
I was gonna say, you got to understand, man. Facts are sometimes people take a piece of a story, use that fact in a different way to try to slant that story in a certain way. So you know what I mean? They'll use a word like that was my an associate of mine who was my friend that happened to be a girl. You know what I'm saying? And they'll say, oh, so it was your girlfriend. That kind of thing happens. All the words get twisted all the time to Corey Davis. That's all I'm saying.
And then the other thing is, why did she go? Okay, she thought he was going to take him home. So the point, if he was going to take her home, why didn't she go? 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 Why At what point did she realize that she was taking him to a motel? And at the point that she went into the room with him, was there any plausible way she could escape the situation unless he was dragging her by her hair into the room or forcefully doing it?
And that was kind of my initial thought as well. Well, if you're supposed to be going one place and you go another place, and you willingly go in with them, so then I think about it. Now I can't see dragging her, dragging by the hair. She's a lot of noise to get made before y'all get inside this, that, and the other. However, a point was made to me by a really smart guy I know that said 1 o'clock in the morning, what girl want to sit outside in the car if somebody gonna stop somewhere in a city like Flint or Detroit for that matter?
Well, this is what West Grand Blanc.
It's the same thing, man. That's like Detroit to Southfield. What's the difference?
Well, and then you have to consider, man. Sometimes famous people can influence people to just want to be in their company because they're celebrities. And they sometimes, I'm not saying in this case, sometimes celebrities take advantage of people who they know want to be in their company.
Right.
And they use that against people. On the flip side of that is you have unfamous people or people that aren't known so well that are looking to get paid in some kind of way.
Right.
So, until more facts come out, I it's just real sketchy to me.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he did or didn't. Now, let me ask you this question. If Mateen Cleaves did do this, should his name or should his jersey be taken from Spartan rafters? Should it be taken out of championship books? How far do you think that should be taken?
But my thing is, what does something he did past his professional career retirement have to do with what he did on the court in college?
Because once you're an alumni of a college,
you can take him out of there. You don't have to be in the alumni association anymore. But we're talking about raising his jersey in the Raptors because of his play on the floor and bringing the city a championship. What if he did this to her? It had no effect on him bringing the city a championship
still,
back when
you're
he
a representative of that alumni. So Michigan State, being that he's from Michigan State, I would say that they would probably try to strike his name from a lot of stuff.
See, and I know
because that's an embarrassment to the that brings embarrassment to the university. Whether it doesn't make a difference when he did it.
Well, tell me this: if that's an embarrassment to the university, where's the university's embarrassment in all of the terrible things that people in this country have done for years, and I'm talking hundreds of years? Why is it that when an athlete gets in trouble or makes a mistake or purposely gets caught up in something, why is it that we have to go back and discredit what they've already done?
That was my point exactly.
When if you look at it from a embarrassment standpoint, well, who has done more in America than the people and the powers that be that sit on the boards of these major corporations and these major universities?
Well, that right there, you already answered your own question. To the powers that be. So they're not. Doesn't make a difference if they do anything embarrassing. It may if they get caught.
But shouldn't it?
Yeah, but
it should. But it's not. That's not the way the world works.
True that, and I understand, and I understand that.
Well, it's not the way that America works.
Right. And I understand that in this country they like to do that type of thing. Well, let's go back and strip this and strip that. Well, why? What does this have to do with that? These are two separate things. We talk about apples and oranges. We talking about apples and doggone greens. We talking about fruit versus vegetables. You know what I'm saying? We're going into a whole nother piece of food now.
I think it's just a part of this racist country that we live in.
Because ain't nobody talking about stripping Ben Roethlisberger's jerseys down from wherever he played. Ain't nobody talking about going back, taking him out of their record books. And it didn't go to court, but didn't he settle out of court? If you settle out of court multiple times for rape accusations, it's got to be something in it, man. It can't be everybody else. It can't be everybody else. Sometimes it's you.
I agree.
So, I mean, I ain't hear anybody coming out saying anything like that about him. So if this is true about Mateen Cleaves, stay away from his basketball accolades because they were basketball related. They had nothing to do with where he tried to put his penis. He put the ball in the hole. It don't matter about.
I have to agree with you. Um, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people who disagree with that sentiment. However, it just seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, I only see this thing. I mean, it's just like with Bill Cosby.
Hmm.
Not to get off the subject, but they removed this guy's star from the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and this man hasn't even been charged.
Right.
He was exonerated, as a matter of fact.
Well, yeah.
He's
Well,
he's
even
not,
before he had a chance to be exonerated,
Yeah, they removed it.
they removed it.
Jumped to it.
So,
And it's
you
fun.
know,
And we gon'
they want to say that that we all are due process. But where's the due process when you try a person in the media and you poison any chance of this person getting a fair trial anywhere?
right.
That's why I said, when I saw the news when the story broke on Mateen. Now, I don't know Mateen. I don't know his character. All I know is what Coach Izzo says he's like. That's all I know.
Right.
This man can very well be a person with a sexual predator mentality.
Good.
I
Right.
don't know. But until we get some facts, see, we have to learn to stop saying words and not knowing the meaning of them.
Hmm.
You know, it's like now we're moving into you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yep.
well, that's always what it is for Black Americans in this country.
It's man,
It's ridiculous.
I wonder what the race of the young lady is. Does anybody
It
know?
never said that. This is what I'm thinking.
Well, if they never said it, guess what?
It's probably gonna be a young Caucasian lady.
Absolutely.
Now, and it's weird because, and we're gonna get into it a little later, but like Maria Sharapova getting caught up with steroids, or not steroids. They say, what do they call them? Performance enhancement drugs.
Yeah.
Now Nike,
PhDs, yeah.
instead of dropping her, Nike says we're gonna put her on hold. I think it's Nike that she had to deal with. Whatever major shoe company she had to deal with says we're just gonna put it on hold until this plays out, till the investigation is finished. Now I'll go back a few years ago when one of the greatest golfers, probably the greatest golfer any of us have ever seen, soon as Tiger Woods got in trouble, a few of his endorsement people, before anything, they just talked about he may have did this or may have done that. Before anything was proved, he had stuff getting dropped left and right, endorsements that he lost.
Absolutely.
Before anything was proven. So it's crazy to me. Man.
Okay, and what the difference with Tiger Woods though? I think not Nike dropped him for a minute and then picked him back up, and a few of his sponsors re-picked him up. The thing with Bill Cosby is, okay, you took his star off, you took all his syndicated shows off, which Felicia Rashad and all them, you still get money from that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking their money away because of something that he allegedly did,
Right,
and
it
you have
wasn't
no
proven.
proof. And
Right.
yeah, so why don't you? Now you're gonna have to go back. The good thing to do is, because you made a mistake and do that in the first place, go back and put a star back on the walk. A, B, put his programs back on
And give him back pay for
and
the
then
time he missed.
Exactly.
I know you're a rich man. Yeah, he is. However, that would be the only right thing to do. I mean, it's just like when you get wrongly incriminated for a major amount of time. It's a certain amount of money. If you get exonerated and proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt years down the line, after you've been in jail for 10, 20 years, they pay you, it ain't a lot, but they give you a certain stipend per year that you were locked up. So
And they should do.
they should give you more than what they give you, to be honest with you, because taking people's lives away. But that's just a point of just helping make your point that they should go back and make right their wrongs. Now, in his mind, would any of that ever make it right? Probably not.
No.
And he's live long
But
enough
just
to
to
see a
make
lot
them-
more racism than we have seen. So all this does is reaffirm
But
what
just
he
to
grew up
fight
with.
the power, to me, would be satisfying enough. I said, look, you put my star back on there, you give me back my endorsements, whatever endorsements I lost, and you put my show back on there. And you give me the money that I lost when you took my shows off.
Because I didn't eat Jello pudding before Bill Cosby. That's probably because I wasn't alive when he got his deal.
That was a long time
Just
ago,
put some
though.
light, a little lightness
That was
into
a while ago, though. B.
Yeah, but it's just like with Tiger Woods. Since you brought him up, if that had been me that they did that way, I would have told them to keep their damn endorsements and all of these different things, because what value did they really hold if you could take them away from me and I haven't been proven guilty of anything?
And the weird thing about his was it was a domestic situation that didn't even get violent or have anything that he did. I'm saying that had nothing to do with breaking laws, going to jail. It was just it was a Bill Clinton situation, if you get my drift. And you try to take his livelihood away from him that way.
Again,
So, and he has a brand that's big enough, G, to your point, where he could have said, "Bump y'all, I'm gonna do my own thing." The Tiger Woods brand is about to be my clothes, and I don't have to run it through Nike.
The problem with sports is kind of problem with America. You don't separate politics and religion. In sports, you don't separate sports life and their life, and that was the problem. Just like you said, I don't have a problem where Tiger Woods stuck his penis at. Whatever. He could have done 60 chicks. I don't care. The dude's still a professional athlete. He still gets the job done when he's out there on the golf course. It's like the same thing we're talking about Mateen Cleaves. It's the same thing. The problem with the whole situation is that would work in white America. It don't work in black America. That's the problem.
Well, let's go a little bit off topic, but on the same topic. Manny Pacquiao, he made a statement saying that he believed that homosexuality was an abomination, and Nike dropped him. So how do you guys feel about Nike or any of these corporations, these sponsors, dropping these athletes over their own personal views?
I think it's a load of crap because when you look at any of, let's say you apply for a job in any one of them corporations, and when they become an endorsee of those corporations, they in essence work for them. They're almost like an employee, technically,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
When you apply for a job, at the bottom of that application, they got a little fine print on there that says, "I will not discriminate against you, against your race, your religion, your personal beliefs, your ethnic background, all of that stuff," right? It does say that, but we see in this situation when it's a minority, and I hate to put it that way, but it's true. When it's a minority, which Manny Pacquiao is considered a minority in the United States of America because he's from the Philippines, they don't care. I don't know one Caucasian. Johnny Manziel, how many of his endorsement got dropped immediately when he started getting in trouble? How long did it take before anybody even said anything? You get what I'm saying? This man made one comment. He ain't break no laws, break no team rules from his camp. He ain't been, I think he been taking steroids. He ain't been caught for taking steroids. None of that kind of thing, right? He says one thing, which is based off of his religious beliefs, which he's entitled to have, and you drop him, I don't think it's fair.
Well, let me ask you this then. Manny Pacquiao openly admitted to committing adultery on his wife. Nike didn't take his deal then.
Well, let me tell you something about personal beliefs. There's people that might work for Nike that don't like black people. That's a personal belief. If he would have said that, people wouldn't have had no problem with Nike dropping him. Homosexuality is the same thing as being racist. It's a gender racism. That's all that is. Okay, it's racism. It's just racist. I can't call it racist. It's prejudiced to a degree.
Yeah, it's prejudice.
It's prejudiced to a degree. So you look at it like this. Yeah, you can sit there and have, oh, I won't say nothing about this, and Nike might have homosexual people that work for him, just like they have black people that work for him. So if somebody says, if he said the same comment and says, well, I don't like black people, everybody would justify that with him not.
Here's the difference, though, B. He didn't say, I don't like homosexual people. He said, I think homosexuality is an abomination, which is a line he took out of the Bible, which he didn't say I don't like black. So that's a big difference. He didn't say I hate. He didn't say I hate gay people.
Well, you know, I'm gonna tell you.
Maybe different wording. If he said, I think black people are an abomination.
I don't know, because if a gay person came out and said, I hate all straight people, nobody will have a problem with it.
But it's not a problem in America to be a racist. You can openly be a racist.
Obviously, that's why Trump's running. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's just examine this for 1 second. The man lost some of his income because he made a statement that was made out of his belief, his religious belief. He didn't say it was a personal belief. He said, due to my beliefs, I believe that homosexuality is an abomination.
Mhm.
Now, there have been some to say that black people are an abomination because, and that's why they are dark complected because they were cursed. There are
People, yeah, that's true.
No,
There's some people that believe that.
there's people that believe that.
I'm just rolling my eyes because I hear that, but
Yeah, but I mean, this
ignorance is bliss.
now. I guess I'm trying to get to this point because these corporations in America and the ones that even do business abroad, like a Nike,
Mhm.
they're so powerful now that they can actually cause political change, social change,
Mhm.
and it's
Economical change. Shoot.
economical change.
And that's what I'm saying. Presidents, the House, they don't run this country. Corporations run this country.
Yes, absolutely.
They
I
run
believe
this
that.
country.
And the thing about it is, G, with that power they have, they can choose to be one way one day and be another way the next
If
day.
they like
They're
you,
very hypocritical.
if they really like you, they'll let you slide and stuff. If
Very
they don't
hypocritical.
like you, I mean, even if they got you signed under their hub, if they don't like it, they say, well, we signed him because we just give him some money because he's a good athlete, blah, blah, blah. But if you make a wrong move either way, you're off that label.
Let Peyton Manning have been let Dante Cole, not Dante Culpepper, let Donovan McNabb, who used to be beloved while he was playing, be accused of what Peyton Manning just got accused of. Man, he'd be thrown, and he had a great amount. Donovan McNabb, one of the greats, right? One of the great quarterbacks that were out there that's done now. If he had the same type of allegation come against him now, he'd get crucified in the media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point of it, man. When do we, as media and as a society, start looking at things for really what they are? If a person is a bad person, they should be a bad person, whether they black, white, gay, straight, orange, purple, yellow, green. It shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you a dirtbag, you a dirtbag.
You know, it gets to the point that when, you know, it's so bad that we can witness things on videotape because there are cell phones and cameras everywhere now. But we're so confused in this country that now we sometimes have to question whether what we're seeing is actually what we're seeing.
True. And the weird thing about that is, G, like kind of to that same point, you can read something that happened, get graphically described, and you not have as big an outroar or outcry as to when you see it.
Yeah.
Ray Rice's perfect example.
Yeah.
Perfect example. 2-game suspension when it was just talked about. When the tape came out, you got to get out of our league now, sir. We don't want to see you no more. Indefinite suspension.
You know, and this is why when B. Striller, before we went on the air, asked me, you know, about the Mateen case, I have to now say I reserve my comment until we get more information.
Right.
And then after saying that, I still feel like even if the information comes in,
You don't know how reliable it is.
how reliable is it?
Right.
How made up or exaggerated it is.
It's almost like you got to have a indirect line to the situation
Yeah.
outside of the cameras and the lights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it's almost like you know, it's like I said when we first went on the air. Well, celebrities sometimes get to where they think they are above normal people and they get themselves caught up in bad situations. And on the flip side of that, you have the person who is looking to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And now it goes a step further because you got people out here now that's looking just to go viral.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
I mean, there are people that actually think that if I go viral, I've made it.
Mm-hmm.
So when something comes out in the news like this, you have to say, oh, wow, well, I better wait and see what happens. Because if you make the judgment based on what the news broadcast gives to you, you may be helping to condemn an innocent person.
Mm-hmm. That's almost like making a decision about, for those who vote, who you gonna vote for before you have any information on any other candidates. Well, he a Democrat, so I'm just gonna vote for him. To me, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you Democrat or Republican, you should look at the situation, what they represent, what they're trying to bring to the table before you just say, I'm going to vote for them because of this. Because that Democrat might want blacks to go back in slavery again. You don't know.
Yeah, but the thing of it is, when you are indoctrinated in a country that promotes separatism,
Mm-hmm.
this is what you get.
True.
You know, if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, if you're an independent, are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? Are you? They
Right.
have all these boxes that they put you in, and they do that for a reason.
True.
And it's the same thing that we're seeing even in the sports world now. Even in the sports world now, they're creating all these little pockets of this kind of fan and that kind of fan, and how do you reach this audience, and how, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Instead of
It
just
goes back to our conversation we had a while back about institutionalized racism.
Mhm.
That's what it is.
But I mean, wow, it's even getting into our sports and entertainment to the point that you can't even enjoy it
Right.
as a fan. I feel sorry for the fans.
And you got to laugh to keep from crying. I guess you're right. That's crazy.
Yeah, because Bill Cosby is to his fans what Muhammad Ali was to his fans.
Right.
Legends. But here, this man is an elderly man now, and you've come with these accusations that you had no concrete proof actually happened. Well, you could have killed this man just by the allegations and the bad press. He's what, 80 years old now?
80. Yeah, you up there.
So at what point do we say, whoa, back up, we destroying people's lives? Let's at least, even with OJ Simpson, you got 95% of white America feeling like he did it. He killed his wife and Ron Goldman.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have, I would say, 75% of black people thinking, no, he didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the man has been found not guilty. So at what point do we really live by what we say?
Right.
If you
and
go
don't,
through
don't
a
you
trial,
think that kind? Don't you think that kind? And the outcome of that trial, I think, has something to do with the big sentence he got with the whole heist, of heisting his own stuff.
No, that wasn't the part that got him. The civil case that was against him after the trial, when they took all his stuff away from him.
if
I'm
they
like-
hadn't have took his stuff, the other case never would have happened. Because
Right.
he'd have had his stuff.
Right. And first and foremost, I'm thinking, okay, he was already exonerated of murder. Okay, right, wrong, or different, if he did it or if he didn't do it, he still was
He went through
exonerated.
it. He was
Exonerated.
tried.
If he was tried, and if they found him, he didn't do it.
But
So now you're gonna promote with the civil case. Basically said
he's
you're
responsible.
responsible for it, but no, you can't be responsible for something that didn't
I've been
happen.
acquitted.
Right. That you were found not guilty of.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. I said that's like America just flipping yourself over and saying, well, we messed up here, but we're gonna get you back on this case.
Ignoring the double jeopardy rule.
Right, that's what it
almost.
is.
It's
That's
exactly.
exactly-
That's exactly what
Instead
it
of
is.
taking
can't-
his life away from him by convicting him, they took all his monies away from him. They took his other part of his life away from him.
Yeah.
And he took the Heisman trophies away. He had to sell his Heisman trophies.
Well, they bought his house just to burn
Mhm.
it down, just to tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have to, when these folks, man, put this stuff in our face now, we have to question whether it's truth or not. Because it's kind of like now, if the man is out to get you, whoever the man is,
Mm-hmm.
if he's out to get you, he's going to get you
One way or another.
one way or another. So
Mhm.
hopefully Mateen Cleaves is not a rapist. I would like to think that he's not.
Right.
But if he is, shame on him. And if this girl is doing something for what that she thought was going to get financial gain or get in the press or people to sympathize with her, then shame on her.
Mhm.
Right.
I
You know.
totally agree, man. I'm super split down the middle right now, just because, like you said, even if we have more evidence, it's hard to almost trust it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I guess it's not for us to, and for those out there listening, how y'all gonna talk about a girl that's supposedly a victim? It's not us trying to bash a victim.
We don't even know if she's a victim yet.
Exactly, and it's not us trying
just
to.
Like, yeah, we don't know she's a victim, just like
we don't know that he's not right, and it's not us trying to bash or lift him up or bash or lift her up. We just put in fact what we got out there right now, giving our opinions about what's going on in professional sports versus what's going on in real life and how it correlates and how it's jacked up.
Yes. You tuned in to Sports Talk Uncut with Ike, Brandan, and B. Striller. Shouts out to Big Ike.
Yes, sir.
He's dealing with family issues. He couldn't be in today. But we're going to take a break right here. Make sure you stay with us. If you want to get in on the fun, hey,
248-429-7224. Yes, sir.
Be right back.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous.
You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
It's the Midwest Music Video Awards, y'all.
Crazy.
Are you an artist? Are you a director? Are you an editor? Well, enter your work today at mwvmawards.com for Best in Class, R&B, Hip Hop, Soul, Country, and more. It's the Midwest Music Video Awards at MWV as in Victor, Awards.com.
Whoa, okay.
Sign your video up today.
Okay, Uncut fans, now it's your time to shine. You can be a part of the show by just calling 248-429-7224. And if you're on Skype, you can hit us up through Skype. Our Skype name is vent.radio. Also, you can hang out with us through Google Hangouts. Just go to Google Plus and search Vent Radio. Or you can go to our homepage, ventradio.net. Now back to the show.
All right. Welcome back to Sports Talk Uncut.
What it is
with B-Man and B Striller.
B-Man.
B-Man.
Who am I, Bart? Bart Simpson?
You know, didn't we have this conversation about your nickname before?
That was funny. All right, so let's transition. We talked about the MSU Spartan. So that begs the question. Was MSU snubbed in the seeding for the NCAA tournament?
Hell to the yeah.
You think they were snubbed, B?
I think they were snubbed.
You think they should have got a 1 seed?
I think they should have got a 1 seed.
Over Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
And why? Get it. I know Ike listening probably, hopefully, and he's like, B Striller, you better let him know why.
First of all, they had 2 more wins than Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
They played. Oregon lost 4 times to teams that were under the 100 ranking.
So you're saying MSU had a stronger schedule?
They had a stronger schedule, and they had stronger games against teams under or above 100 that they won, versus to the ones that they lost to that were under. I don't think they lost to any teams under 100. I don't believe. So, and they won the tournament. And Big Ten is pretty much a big dog in the NCAA as far as basketball is concerned.
So you give a Big Ten tournament more clout than the Pac-10 tournament.
Yeah.
Or Pac-12 now.
Whatever.
That's what it is. I'll be Pac-12. It's Pac-10 to me. It always be Pac-10. That's what they used to call it. That's what the doggone is.
Pac shouldn't have got first seed. That's what it should have been.
So, okay, so who won Oregon's? Who won the Pac-12? Was it Oregon?
I believe so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they did, and they won it in grand fashion. Is it because they blew out Utah the way they did? Is maybe why they giving them? And the Michigan State struggled with a couple teams in the Big Ten tournament.
Who they struggle with?
They had a 4-point victory, 70-66, one of those games.
That was the last game. That was the last game of the championship. That was Purdue. Purdue, who beat them in the regular season, and they came back and beat them in the Big Ten Conference. Purdue was a ranked team as well, so they beat a ranked team. They blew out the two teams before them. I mean, blew them out.
Yeah,
blew them out. So no,
Valentine, the truth, man.
Yeah, he is.
Denzel
He should be
Valentine,
player of the year.
He's gonna be a beast, bro.
He should be player of the year in the NCAA.
And I think his skill, the way he plays, actually will translate well to the league too. I don't think he's gonna be one of those guys that's just college flashy. I think it's gonna translate to the league, man. But I kind of tend to agree with you that they were snubbed. The 4 teams that should have got ones, I'm gonna say Kansas, MSU, Villanova, Virginia. Those are the teams I think.
And I would agree with you.
Should have been ones.
Now,
North Carolina, I guess.
No, I don't like North Carolina being.
I could put them on. I could put them in there over Villanova. I could put North Carolina in there over Villanova. So I ain't mad at all you NC fans out there. I ain't mad at the Tar Heels. They, get your money, man, as they say in the hood. I ain't mad at them, man. I like their squad actually, and a lot of people think they and Kansas are the 2 favorites to get to the big dance.
Well, last time I checked, MSU was supposed to be winning it all. They were 15-2 favorites to win it.
Yeah, Vegas odds probably. Well, I mean, like in the layman, I'm talking about to the casual sports fan, or even the diehard basketball sports fan. You hear the guys talking, even the analysts. The 2 teams they've been raving about have been Kansas and.
Well, our president Barack Obama chose Kansas Jayhawks to win the tournament.
Yeah,
he's been wrong before though.
True, he has. About basketball,
yeah,
because people don't want to give him his just due. He turned country around.
Right.
He turned it around.
That's right.
Not no worse president. Probably one of the best we ever had, and the stats say so.
Right.
Since y'all like to call me the stat man, but I'm gonna give Kansas some props because I'm looking at Kansas starting 5, and they got 4 cats averaging double digits. And they looking pretty good, man. And the reason I had put Villanova in there initially is because they got 5 cats averaging double digits. I mean, they share the ball. They play basketball the right way, as Larry Brown used to say when he was coaching the Pistons. They share the ball. They move the ball around. They play good defense. Now, I think MSU probably does have one of the most complete games when we're talking about being able to shoot it from the outside, being able to dump it down and run some plays for the big man down there. Because I actually like Matt Costello. I think he's pretty decent on the blocks. And then Denzel Valentine, man, is a game changer. And then Forbes shooting lights out, you know what I'm saying, from outside. The dude shooting a high percentage out there.
The 4 teams in their bracket that besides Kansas, 3 teams in their bracket that I would watch for is Maryland, Arizona, and Iowa. Those are tough teams. Big Ten always plays tough basketball. So, and Maryland's part of the Big Ten now. So,
who's your sleeper out of the whole tournament? And I'm gonna say a team you're gonna probably look at me like, what? But a team I'm watching, man, that's done some big things so far that look like they might. I ain't saying they'll get to the Final Four or anything, but they could upset some teams on the way and put some of the big dogs out possibly. Seton Hall been balling, man.
They lost to Xavier.
I'm still though. I'm just saying, man. Xavier ain't no chumps now.
No, they ain't. I got them going pretty far. I like Xavier. I think they play. They're another team that uses all their players. I mean everything. They use all their bench players. Everybody scores, and they all do different things. They've been playing some pretty crappy basketball lately. I don't know what that's about because Mac is a good coach.
Okay,
he's one of the best coaches in college football.
College football.
College basketball.
Get your mind out of football, B.
Right. College basketball. So, I like Xavier. They got a pretty interesting bracket themselves too. So, but
So
MSU, I say MSU is going to win their bracket. I don't care who's number one in their bracket.
So I'll ask you to break it down. Let's go just like game by game. Just using the MSU bracket. We won't go through them all. Let's go. Give me 1 second. All right, so Michigan State, Middle Tennessee. You got Michigan moving on. Michigan State moving on, right?
Yeah.
So you got Dayton, Syracuse.
Syracuse.
All right, so that puts Michigan State versus Syracuse right there. All right, going up. Utah versus Fresno State.
I like Fresno State, man.
Woo, upset?
Yep.
Wow, beat Strilla. All right, Gonzaga. I'm sorry. Is that Gonzaga? I can't see good. My eyes are getting old, man. And Seton Hall, who you got? Seton Hall,
I'll take Seton Hall that.
All right, so you got them going up against Fresno State, okay? Now, from one of the graduates from my alma mater, West Memphis Senior High School, is playing for Arkansas Little Rock, man, and they done, made the tournament, Cinderella team. Arkansas Little Rock versus Purdue. Does the 12 beat the 5? When percentages say 12 beat 5s about evenly.
Hell no, not in this case.
So you got Purdue.
I don't give nothing, nothing bad to your alma mater there, but Purdue's gonna beat the brakes off them. Purdue is a good basketball team. If it wasn't for the fact that Michigan State's playing at a high level, I'd say Purdue would start winning some games too.
Wow. All right, so and we skipped one. Iowa State, Icona.
Iowa State.
All right. Butler, Texas Tech.
Butler.
I'm taking Butler too. Even though Texas Tech, they got some young guys. They pumped about getting to the tourney because they don't always get in there. Butler be balling.
Butler's conference is a strong conference too.
Yeah.
I mean, they play Xavier. They play a lot of these teams that are in this tournament that are in their conference are in this tournament. So, and they have a strong conference.
And we know Virginia gonna probably beat the brakes off Hampton.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
that's gonna be a good. That's gonna be an interesting home game. Hampton and Virginia. They're the same. Virginia and Hampton. Hampton's in Virginia, so that'd be interesting.
They about to murder them.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be. It's gonna be a bloodbath. So Virginia versus Butler, who you got?
Virginia versus Butler.
Yep, that's gonna be the next. Based on them winning their games, who you got?
I like Virginia.
Okay. So you got Purdue versus Iowa State. Who you got?
Purdue.
So that gives you Purdue versus Iowa State. And, okay. So you moving Purdue on. So that gives us Purdue versus Virginia up there. All right. So going down to the next one, we got Seton Hall versus Fresno State. Who you going with?
I think I have to go with Seton Hall on that one too.
Okay. So see, you saying what I said too, baby. And then you got Michigan State beating up on Syracuse.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Michigan State, Seton Hall, Michigan State, and then you got Virginia versus who we say?
Butler or no?
Virginia versus Purdue. So
Purdue's gonna win that.
You're gonna take Purdue over. So we're gonna get a rematch of Michigan and Purdue.
I think Purdue is that good of a team.
Wow. So they get into the Elite 8. And who wins that game?
Michigan State and Purdue?
Yep.
Michigan State. Better squad.
That was for you, Big Ike. Got Izzo, Mr. March himself, Tom Izzo. Man, they seem to play. They take the game to another level every year this time of the year. Yes.
This is why you never count MSU out in a tournament, no matter where they're seated.
Yeah.
And especially this year, the fact that they got hoes and they're a number 2 seed, they're going to be playing for something.
And then, early on, they was dealing with some injuries. So you got some guys that's probably just not kind of coming into their own because they just getting in the groove of things. And then, like we said earlier, Denzel Valentine just playing at another level, man. He look like a pro amongst amateurs. Really.
You're correct.
He's man, he threw a pass the other day that I didn't even see, and I was watching it on TV. And we get to see the whole court from the television. How you saw that pass? I don't know.
So who you got winning it all?
My heart tells me to go with MSU just because I'm from the state of Michigan, and I think they have the talent to win it all. But man, I don't know, man. I'm kind of torn here. I want to go with MSU, but the team that, like I said, I brought them up earlier in their bracket. They're in a different bracket than MSU, but Villanova, man, kind of just caught my eye just because of the way they play, man. And I ain't saying I ain't gonna pick them to win it all. I'm going with Michigan State. I ain't punking out. Michigan State gonna win the whole thing.
I got Michigan State versus Kansas, and Michigan State taking it off
because Michigan State play better defense.
Yep.
that's gonna be the reason they win.
But it's going to be a good game because Kansas does have a hellified offense.
True,
I
bet you that's a low scoring game.
They run some really good sets for a college team.
If that is the matchup in the finals, I guarantee it's a low scoring game. They don't score over 70. I think it's gonna be both teams under 70 for that game.
And in my semifinals, I do have Xavier making it.
Wow.
I do think Xavier is good enough team to beat. If it wasn't for the fact that Kansas City and Michigan State are playing, at a level, I'd put Xavier winning, being in the finals.
Wow. You got some respect for the
because they always do. Xavier, whenever they're in the tournament, they always knock people off. They're not supposed to knock off, and being that they're a higher seed this year, that means they're going to knock off higher seeds.
So to you saying it gives them a chance to take on some lower seeded teams.
Go into the tournament deeper than they've been before.
Well, would that give them a false sense of confidence when they run into a real team, though?
No, I'm just saying, no. What I'm saying is they'll beat teams like that.
True. What I'm saying, well, like you said, they're playing lower seeds rather than before where they used to have to fight to get themselves through it, playing higher seeded teams. Now that they the big dog, Eden, when they get to a team that's just as big as them, are they going to be able to come to the fight is the question. Because, sports have there's a lot of things that can happen in sports that change your psyche. If you constantly beating up on dudes on the court, y'all blowing everybody out, and then you finally run up to a team who has just as good a resume as you, and they, dog you out. When you coming into that game, you got a mindset like nobody can beat us. You may even overlook a team that's on par with you.
I'm gonna tell you something about their bracket too. There's two teams in their bracket that probably would strike fear into people playing them. That's North Carolina and Kentucky. And North Carolina is, of course, the number 1 seed, and Kentucky is the number 4 seed. Okay, so there's a chance that North Carolina won't make it to a certain point, or Kentucky. I don't believe they're strong enough teams. I told you there's a lot of parity in college basketball.
It is, but North Carolina is a strong team. I like North Carolina's team, man, and they run like you said earlier. They run some nice offensive sets. They play all around game.
The other team that's good in that bracket is West Virginia.
Mm-hmm. With that press Virginia, as they call them these days, but Kentucky is the one team that doesn't, to me, strike fear like they used to.
Exactly.
Kentucky seems to be true, but you can't live off the guys, and Jamal Mashburn ain't there no more. You get what I'm saying? I know I'm going way back, but even 2 years ago when they had all the young guys playing, this team isn't as talented as that team. And sometimes experience in this tournament is needed to get you through this tournament, and these guys don't have that vibrato that those other guys had.
And, I think the reason why North Carolina got it into the tournament as a number 1 seed in the first place is because who's their coach?
Dean Smith.
There you go. That's why. You gotta have a name up there.
And he's a heck of a coach though too, man. Yeah. Look how many dudes
I think that's why North Carolina is where they at, because they really don't have that great of a team.
But they play team. It's team ball though. That's what I'm saying. Let me put it this way. They bought in. You feel what I mean? Well, a lot of times you have a team and the coach, and the team buys into that coach's philosophy.
Team ball and having a talent to have team ball are two different things, because they are playing team ball, but they're making it just enough to win the games that they have been winning. See what I'm saying? Okay. That's coaching experience right there, to get your team to a point where they can take it, get to a point and win the game in the last few minutes. North Carolina's had a few of those games, and they lost to Duke. Please. Duke sucks this year. I don't even know how they got in the tournament. They're in a tournament. How you be putting Duke in a tournament? They stink.
Now that's a name. That's why they Duke. Dookie always. Dookie stinks. We know that when you Dookie in the toilet, it don't smell good. Sorry, Duke. Sorry, Duke fans.
They're playing UNC Wilmington. It's a 4 versus 13. There's an upset right there. Yeah, that's an upset.
You saying they're gonna lose? Duke is gonna lose that game? Mm-hmm. Wow. He's still putting out. He's throwing haymakers today, man.
Yeah, because the record that Duke has, they're 23-10. I think they got, they're just like, they got some losses. Other teams got some losses on them, but UNC Wilmington is 25-7.
Who did they play though, B?
Well,
you feel what I'm saying?
Did they win their conference? I'm not sure.
I don't know, man.
I don't know if they won their conference or not. I don't know if they did, or UMC. I don't know if they won it.
Well, Well, we already put it out there. We both believe MSU going to win it. It is what it is. And just to appease Ike because he ain't here. How much money is this here tournament going to make this year?
Oh Lord, you gonna make him call in?
That was for you, Ike. I know that's what Ike will be saying right now. He's like, games aside.
Let me see. Do y'all know how much money this tournament gonna make? Let me
Is it $2 billion, Ike?
$2 billion? No, more like $100 billion. Just for the one tournament night? Yeah.
Pay the kids. Gotta pay them.
Yeah.
Even though we agree with you, just teasing with you, man. So, Michigan State, that's my pick. Beach Driller. I don't got nothing else to say about that. Like Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that.
Duh. I say duh.
So let's get into some. See, still talking b-ball. Let's get into some NBA, man.
Oh yeah.
What's going on with these P-Stones that's getting P-Stoned
the
last couple games, man?
You ain't lying. I watched the atrocity on Monday.
Was it 52?
40-point loss, 41 or 42-point loss to a team that's trying to catch them, which is the Washington Capitals.
Capitals? The Wizards?
The Wizards.
Get hockey off your line, boy.
Football, I'm going all over the place. But, the Wizards. So I'm looking at it like, okay, did you guys actually decide you wanted to come to play, or were you just trying to give the ball to them so to see how many points they can score before you decided you want to start playing?
Man, I don't know. Is this okay? Conspiracy theory. Remember when Rip and them were disgruntled about them bringing over the coach from Cleveland, and he didn't like how Custer was trying to use them and this, that, and the other, and they all was like, "Man, we ain't playing for this cat." Is that what's going on right now? Is it that they couldn't sustain the high level of play they were playing at earlier in the season at an inconsistent rate because of their youth on the team right now?
Well, it's like the tale of two teams. It's like last weekend. We saw them get blown out by another team. They come right back and they blow out another team. I'm like, okay, which Piston team is going to show up?
That's a good question.
It's weird. I don't understand. They got the best big man in the league. And you're not. I don't know what's going on. And he played a horrible game on Monday. Horrible.
But could he just be frustrated because he the best big man in the league, but he the only big man in the league they don't run plays for?
Could be.
I mean, we sat there.
I mean, I'm with Ike on that. I don't think Stan Van Gundy should be the coach either. But
man, we sat right there, almost courtside, pretty much watching it. Like, dude, they don't run plays for this guy. He getting 18 and 18 by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Rebound, dunk back, all alone.
Right.
They may throw a pick and roll his way every blue moon, but that's the point guard's call. The coach not calling that. So
yeah, should they run plays for him?
I mean, even if you run some type of play where he ends up with a small little alley-oop to him, or he catch it right down where he can jump up and dunk it in, something like that. They don't do that. They don't even do that once in a while. It don't got to be every play.
Well, but the thing of it is he has a chemistry with his point guard, and they pretty much play two-man basketball when he's getting alley-oops. So what sense does it really make to run a set play for him?
I'm going to tell you about him. It's not just his point guard. He has chemistry with a lot of his team play because all of them usually – throw him an alley-oop. I understand that. What's his name?
Stan Van Gundy?
No.
Oh, you're talking about Jackson.
Action Jackson throws him a lot of oops.
Action Jackson.
And he throws him a lot of oops, but other teammates have thrown him oops too. It's just like it's a natural thing for him to do.
But I get what G's saying as far as if he has that natural camaraderie with his point guard and they run it well. Why call plays for him? But my thing is, a lot of times they start doing that on their own. I'm saying Stan Van Gundy still trying to get them run, whatever that is, that play where they all run around looking like they lost and they pass it a few times and then they don't score, and then Reggie Jackson end up with the ball back in his hand with like 7 seconds left on the shot clock to go take a shot with it.
That's a play. You didn't know that?
But why not sometimes let that pick and roll be the play call? You know what I'm saying? From the coach, like, look, man, the pick and roll, run it. Let's run it till they stop it.
Well, first of all, you got a coach that's just pretty much saying, all right, team, this is what we're going to do. Get on the floor and run around.
literally what it looks like.
Yeah. So
That's what I said. That's their play.
Yeah.
Get on the floor and run around.
So
That's
to
it.
expect him to put together schemes to score the basketball, it's not gonna happen, man. I've been watching this guy coach, man, for years. Okay, and this guy has had teams that he should have won championships with,
Orlando,
and Miami.
and every superstar player that he's had has gone to other teams. Well, not every, but a lot of them
have flourished.
Went to other franchises and won.
Mm-hmm.
This guy can't coach, man.
So that's why I'm thinking, like we asked why they lay such such
And I think-
eggs in the
and-
last
and to
couple
tell you the
games.
truth,
I
I
think they
think-
could be frustrated with it, man.
I think he ruined the career of one player that could have been great.
Who was that?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard ruined his own career.
Yeah, he's just a bum.
It started with Stan Van Gundy, though. Remember?
Oh,
that.
I'm gonna give you.
Well,
before-
Stan Van Gundy can't give him competitiveness and the will to win.
I was just about to say a winning attitude.
In other words, confidence.
No.
Well, no, not confidence, but you have to understand that this guy went to LA where the greatest centers to ever play the game have played.
Where they aspired to play as well.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy went into LA and didn't even look at those pictures and banners throughout that building and said, and say to himself, I'm going to be next to Kareem. I'm going to surpass what Shaq did in LA. I want to be the next Wilt Chamberlain. He never could get that, and that's why he and Kobe couldn't coexist, because Kobe was trying to tell him, hey, man, greatness played in this building. And if you don't want to play every night with competitiveness, then you need to move on.
Right.
He moved on.
And what is he doing?
He went to Houston and he did the same exact thing.
Pretty much, James Harden that team was on his shoulders.
Well, James Harden wants him out of there.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
So
he ain't helping him.
I mean, this man should absolutely. There's no way that this young kid that plays center for the Pistons should be looked at as the top center over Dwight Howard. It just shouldn't be.
That's true.
But this guy, Dwight Howard, I believe, plays for the money. He has no interest in being great. That's just my own personal view.
And the funny thing about it, I can't agree with you more, man. I agree with you 100% on that.
Now, to keep on the same subject of the NBA, right now, playoffs are set up like this. In the Eastern Conference, we got the Cavaliers taking on the Chicago Bulls. Now, the Chicago Bulls lead that series 2-1 so far. If Cavalier, I'm just taking one team, one little game at a time. Okay, if Cavalier was to play Chicago in this series, I think Chicago beat them in 7.
You saying if the playoffs started today?
Yep, beat them in 7.
Ooh, that's bold.
I think I agree.
That's bold.
Chicago is playing just to be playing the way they are right now, even at an 8th seed spot.
They're playing some top tier basketball.
They're playing some good basketball.
Yeah.
They want to be in the playoffs. They're playing like they want to be in the playoffs, unlike the Pistons. So I take that one. Now we got Toronto and the Pacers.
Hold on, I just got to point this out.
Yeah.
Brian just said something nice about a Chicago team, and I think Brian got a fever, man. I think he might be sick today.
But I didn't say they're going to win a championship. I just said they're going to win that game. Anyway,
he hates the city of Chicago. He hates Illinois.
I hate
Chicago there.
I'm not just actually, Illinois would be great without Chicago. But anyway, then we got Toronto and the Pacers. They got a series at 1-1. That might be a good series. What
That's
do you
gonna
think
go
about that?
7.
Yeah.
If that stays where it is, that series going 7.
Mm-hmm.
People sleeping on Paul George, man. Paul George is a silent assassin right now because all these other guys they always talk about, like the LeBrons and the Steph Currys and all that. Paul George silently having a great season too.
You can't take away nothing from Toronto though. Toronto's been balling the last 2
have.
years, so they've been right up there.
Kyle
with Cleveland.
Lowry and what's the boy, the funny looking boy?
Yeah, they balling until playoff time start.
Who, Toronto?
Yeah. When playoff time start,
they disappear again.
Everybody gonna sit.
That's where you might have it at with the Pacers taking that series.
You start. No, coach, I don't want to start. Let him start.
It's the playoffs. I'm scared.
It's funny you say that because I remember back when Chris Bosh was Mr. 20 and 10, they did the same thing. They balled throughout the year. They get to the playoffs and they as a team disappeared.
Yeah.
And we got Boston versus the Charlotte Hornets. And Boston leads that series 2-0.
Boston will beat them. They're sweeping.
Yep. And then we got Miami versus the Atlanta Hawks.
That'd actually be a decent series.
That might be, yeah.
Depends on which Hawks team show up. If the Hawks team that played
Hawks is another
with the Hawks
team
they
that
played
fade
with
in the
last year,
playoffs.
yeah.
Are y'all really interested in what happens in the Eastern Conference?
I am, because if you look at the Eastern Conference right now, I know everybody would like to say the West is better. The West got 3 great teams over there, yes. If you look at the top of the West, I'll give them that. But when we talk about like this year, we're looking at records-wise, which a lot of people base it off of.
And I am getting to the Western
Eastern Conference got...
No, I know that you were, but I was just saying, dude, does anybody really care about the East?
Eastern Conference got the teams that's in the playoffs are
That's because they playing each other.
collectively better.
That's because they playing each
You want
other.
to ask me that question.
See,
Because really, I'm not impressed with the NBA period right now.
I'm not either.
But I ain't either. It's basketball. People talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, but here's my thing with the East, and I know what for years the East was down, but I think just the East has gotten more competitive. That's why the records
within the Eastern Conference.
Yes, that's why the records don't correlate over to the West. You got the 3 teams that dominate everybody else in the West.
It's kind of easy.
And then the Eastern Conference is like a lot of teams
that's
really a player away from being a
if
contender
you're in the
that
Eastern
league.
Conference, it's easier to say that you're competitive in the Eastern Conference when the rest of the teams suck as much as you do.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
when you go into be it all said, Cavaliers are probably the best team equipped to beat anybody in a Western Conference.
And I'm glad you put equipped in there.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to.
I know that, but they're the best equipped.
Yeah.
In the Western Conference, of course, we got #1 Golden State with Dallas.
They're going to the finals.
Yeah.
Okay, we put them up there.
Well, I don't know, Spurs.
Unless they meet the Spurs in the
I'm never
Western
going to
Conference
count.
Championship.
I'm never going to count Popovich out.
Right.
Popovich until he's out.
Right, and they got to play the Houston Rockets, so we already know that's going to be. And then we got the Thunder versus Portland.
The Thunder won't get to the Western Conference Finals.
They're not gonna get through that game. Portland's gonna beat them.
Well,
whoa!
I heard that what's that boy's name? I lost.
Westbrook?
Not Westbrook. Durant.
Durant.
That if they don't go to the finals, they don't even have a chance of getting him back.
Right. Gone.
I'll be gone. Period. If I were him.
Why stay? He had the opportunity to do that. I guess he's being true to his team. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm not gonna ever when my point guard is putting up 30 and 35 a night, I'm ever gonna bet with a team to win a championship as long as that's happening. When the point guard has to get 30 and 35 every night to win,
and shooting a low percentage doing
it, I'm not gonna bet a pizza against money.
He said pizza against money. Now a sleeper team, man. If they come in healthy, Memphis still is a scrappy team.
I like Memphis.
Man. I like Memphis. Play some D, and they play dirty ball. They get, they get down and grimy in the paint. They'll throw an elbow at your neck. They don't care.
They do. They're just not winners.
They'll beat the Clippers.
Yeah, they'll beat the Clippers. Yeah, in the first round, you mean? Yeah, they'll beat the Clippers.
Oh yeah.
But
after that,
that team, man, they don't have a commitment to winning. They physically they're built to win, but mentally they haven't committed to win.
You think that's because of the coach?
I believe so. Because the personnel is there. The personnel is there. I mean, that boy, Zach Randolph.
It's a beast.
I mean, the boy is a beast.
And he don't jump 2 inches off the ground.
Yeah,
and a beast.
And he's just flat out just a thug out there.
Yeah,
Michigan State.
I love it. I love the way he played, man. And sweet touch too. He'll shoot it from anywhere inside the 3-point. He hit a 3 occasionally, but he don't like the venture out there. He like banging in the paint.
Yeah,
that's what I love about them. And they remind me of they were built almost like a Pistons team of old. The way they play is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what it reminds me. That's why I said Pistons team of old. Of old is important. Right
defensively.
I hope you mean real. I hope you mean
real old.
I hope
Fort Wayne old
before the tenure of Tayshaun Prince.
Tayshaun Prince again.
Hey, hold on now. That's Tayshaun, my boy.
Tayshaun, he won a championship.
Tayshaun, my boy. He won a championship.
Talk about him.
He blocked the shot.
Shot heard around the world.
Hey, if you want to join in and chime in on who your playoff picks are, no problem. Give us a call, 248-429-27224.
My bad.
He was about to rap like he like an
having
80s rapper, wasn't he?
Problems today. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I see y'all watching the show. Wave to the folks, y'all.
What it is.
Look at B Striller. He over there looking.
So
we got 2 stat men on the team now.
No, because we're talking playoffs, so we have to go to hockey.
Well, before we get there, we just got hit up on the Sports Talk Uncut Facebook page. Y'all should go like the page. Come in, join us. We got a guy coming out of the Dirty, Mr. Mark Thomas. Portland gonna beat OKC in the playoffs. B Striller needs an immediate drug testing on the spot. He has to be higher than a 300-pound lineman running a 4.4 in the 40.
That's good.
So when it comes to your team, everybody's high if they got beat them, right? So I guess we're gonna have some high ass people out there because your team gonna go beat.
Listen, y'all, we're gonna take another short break. And we're gonna be coming back on the other side with B Striller, and we're gonna talk some hockey. You're tuned in to Sports Talk Uncut.
Yeah.
When you want to laugh, it's movie time. When you want to chill, it's movie time. When you want a movie while you're out, it's movie time. When you have a portable device and you want entertainment now, it's movie time. Movie Time is your subscription-based, on-demand cloud movie house. So wherever you are, whoever you're with, or whatever genre of entertainment you want, you can enjoy it at your command. As a Movie Time member, you can enjoy feature films of every genre, TV shows, Movie Time originals, first-run movie premieres, live stream concerts, old school films, and much more. And of course, you can enjoy Movie Time on iPhones, iPads, Android devices, Roku, Apple TV, smart TVs, Google Play, and on your computer. All this entertainment and all this accessibility is brought to you by Movie Time for only $4.99 a month or $50 a year. Sign up at movietime.com right now and get your movies on the move. movietime.com.
It's the all-new Hollywood Fab Boutique, located at 26488 Grand River Avenue, Redford, Michigan. Go over there and tell my girl Takesha I said take care of you. Shoes, accessories, dresses, Hollywood Fab Boutique, skirts, blouses, whatever you may need, bad girls, get it at Hollywood's Fab Boutique. She's such a bad girl. That one-of-a-kind outfit, those one-of-a-kind shoes. Why go to the mall when you can go to Hollywood Fab Boutique? VentRadio.net is sponsored by Hollywood's Fab Boutique.
Yeah, Sports Talk Uncut with Ike, Brandan, and B Striller. We back in full effect. B Striller, hit us with the hockey.
Okay, hockey. All right, we got playoffs there too. We got a Detroit team that's barely trying to get in.
Struggling.
I guess they want to lose the playoffs too. I don't know what their problem is. At least I give them 1 point because on 1 point on the Pistons because they're actually in the playoffs. Barely. But let me go run down some of these teams that are going to be in the playoffs as they have them set right now in the conference, in the Eastern Conference, where the Wings are at. We got Pittsburgh and Florida.
That still sounds weird.
But Pittsburgh, I think, will beat Florida. They got the season series 2-1.
Yeah, I ain't betting.
Best series right now in that conference is going to be Tampa Bay and Boston. That's going to be a good series because in Boston, they be hitting.
Tampa Bay going to win.
Tampa Bay and the season series tied to 2.
Tampa Bay going to win.
And we got the Wings versus the Capitals. If that happens, the Wings ain't going to advance past the first round.
So you think Ovechkin going to finally win in the playoffs?
Man, Capitals going to murder the Red Wings right now.
Ovechkin seems to choke in the playoffs. Look at all them regular
he's going to choke against
he's
going to choke against a team like Boston or Tampa Bay or Pittsburgh or something like that.
He's going to choke against tyrant of a organization called the Detroit Red Wings that
about
ruled
that.
hockey for so
He's
long.
not the only one on there, but that's okay.
They're gonna strike fear in his heart.
Well, Red Wings haven't won that series. They're 1-2 against him.
It's regular season, baby.
Then we got the Battle of New York, the Rangers and the Islanders, and the Islanders have taken that. Good. Islanders have taken that series 3-0 during the regular season. Islanders are pretty good, yeah.
When did they get good?
Like in the course of a year.
That's why they was out on the island.
Yeah, they've been pretty good. They've been getting better and better every season for the past 3 seasons. So they're getting to that point. I don't know though. Like you said, during the regular season, I'm just telling you what their season record is.
Yeah.
But during the playoffs, that's a whole different type of hockey.
It is.
And I think the Rangers might beat them.
Okay.
Then we got then we get into the Western Conference. This is the Wings' old conference. We have Minnesota taking on Dallas. That's not going to be any competition for Dallas. Dallas is just playing good. It doesn't even make a difference. I ain't even tell you their season series record because it doesn't make a difference. Dallas is going to beat them.
Okay.
Dallas is playing some outstanding hockey right now. In fact, I think I might be picking Dallas to go to the Stanley Cup
Finals.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Then we got Chicago and St. Louis. I think Chicago's going to take that series.
Yeah.
Nashville and the Kings. Now,
Kings.
remember the Kings? Yeah, the Kings were Stanley Cup champions a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm taking the Kings. The Predators haven't shown me anything to make me think they don't win the playoff series.
Then we got San Jose and Anaheim. Like, who cares? But anyway,
The Mighty Ducks, man. They got their team from a movie. They got their team name from a movie. You gotta give them props. I just like Hollywood. I like Hollywood, so we're gonna go Mighty Ducks, man. Give them their props. They came from a movie from Hollywood.
We'll give them props. But San Jose is always a tough playoff team anyway. They used to give the Wings fits all the time.
Yeah.
No matter how good they were.
Sharks tend to do that.
Yeah.
Give people fits.
So really, what I'm looking at right now, based on who's in the playoffs at this moment, because we don't know if the Red Wings are going to stay in the playoffs, but I see Dallas and Tampa Bay going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Wow. Dallas over Chicago?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Dallas is leading their division right now, and they were in 4th place at one time in the season. Chicago's been at one, and they took their spot.
So
they've been whooping behind.
So you're saying they're playing good hockey at the right time,
Yep.
whereas Chicago still teeter-totter.
Well, Chicago's playing good hockey too, but they're not playing the kind of hockey Dallas is playing right now.
Okay.
Dallas is playing way over there, way
Wow.
over their head. So I think usually you look at teams going into the playoffs, who's the hottest with hockey's, because it's basically the same formula you use for NCAA too. It's whoever the hottest team is at the time, they can continue that role going into their playoffs. Bam.
All right, so you don't see the Red Wings jumping in and stealing the spot, man? They're going to finally not make the playoffs after 24 consecutive appearances?
If the Red Wings don't start winning some games, they're out. Because right now, they're the last place. They played Philadelphia last night. They lost 4-3. That's a team they had to beat. They were 3 points ahead of them. Now they're only 1 point.
Wow.
And Carolina's creeping up behind them.
Was there any bad coaching decisions, or the team just didn't come to play?
You know what? Let me tell you something. The reason why I don't see the Wings being in the playoffs this year, only because they have no offense. Their offense is ranked in the bottom 7th of the league right now.
Wow.
Nobody can score. And they got all them people on there that can score. Nobody can score.
Wow.
And their defense is horrendous. You think the Pistons defense is horrendous. Wings defense is horrendous. I mean, that's why the goaltenders got to stand on their head every night. And I'm like, don't you understand who you got to cover out there past the blue line? I mean, you don't understand that concept. They had a goal last night. Guy was right off the face-off. He skated right in front of the damn goal. There was nobody around. Like,
wow.
The two Red Wings were like
one-on-one.
10 feet apart from him. I'm like, you don't see that guy skating that way? I was yelling at the TV because I seen the guy skating right in front of the goaltender. I was like, hey, get him. And by the time I said get him, he scored a goal.
Well, news break these Steelers. They wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, they probably. It's not like they're hearing too much now anyway. So, but that's what's going on in the NHL front. For those that are interested in hockey,
we got some hockey listeners. We got some fans out there. I had a few people actually ask me, man, y'all ever talk hockey? Like, of course we do. Since we still have been on the team, yeah, we talk hockey.
But I want to know what some of you people out there from that Arkansas, Tennessee area. I'm figuring that you like Nashville as a hockey team because that's around the area.
Nashville or Dallas?
Or Dallas, yeah. I would. Yeah, Dallas is a stretch, but yeah.
No, it's not that far. It's like a 7-hour drive.
Yeah.
Nashville, like 4 hours.
Yeah, all the Dallas Cowboy fans are there
Yeah.
too. So yeah. So you can chime in once in a while and tell me what hockey team that you like, and I'll put out some news out on their team.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening today, man. These callers act like they're scared to call in.
Right, they just want to watch.
248-429-7224.
7224.
Hit us up, y'all. Sports Talk Uncut.
So we talking hockey. Hockey got fighting.
I thought.
Has there been any fights in hockey
I
lately?
thought fighting had hockey.
Have there been any fights to speak of, B? That's what the people want to know.
Well, let's see.
Any big fights to speak of?
Not really.
So hockey is watered down now too, huh?
Yeah, basically, all the sports getting soft.
It's the same thing as the football. Okay, Roger Goodell has basically tried to kill that sport, just like Gary Bettman has tried to kill hockey right now. Now, Bettman's done better things for hockey, but he's still, the fighting aspect is hockey. That is hockey. This is hockey.
Yeah.
It's been hockey since hockey was formed. They've been fighting on ice since then. Just give them their penalties and send them in a box. It's like,
that's where timeout began for all parents who didn't know that.
It's too dangerous. And I said, it's more dangerous to go out there and skate than fighting. Do you know that?
They skating like 30 miles an hour.
1, 2, those skates are weapons.
Yeah.
Once they go in the air and they have no control over those skates. I've seen people get cut across the neck. And we had a couple guys, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, there was a guy that got cut right across his neck, was out for the entire year.
I bet.
Yeah.
He almost get decapitated. That kind of.
They had to shut down the hockey game for about an hour.
For a while, huh?
Yeah, they shut down the game for about an hour because there was so much blood in the ice.
Wow. They let them finish that game?
Yep.
That's savage. That is savage, man.
That's hockey. Finish that game.
Yeah, they're gonna finish that game. You gonna get
that is savage.
Oh yeah, I like to point out that yesterday I saw a black player
in NHL.
Yep.
It's one
he was playing on Philadelphia.
Ain't he pretty good?
Yeah, Simmons. Yeah, he was knocking the crap out of people out there too. That's black folks. Please get in hockey. Please get in hockey. You can knock the crap out of somebody and get away with it.
Can't find that many black folks to ice skate.
That's what I'm gonna say, man. It's the skating. If they start running, they start playing some field hockey.
Look,
they coming and running.
Look, don't let people tell you what you can't do. They told you couldn't play golf. Tiger Woods couldn't play tennis. Serena and Venus. Don't let them tell you can't play hockey because there's some black folks out there that play hockey and they pretty damn good at it too.
But Tiger Woods is black and knees, man.
Well,
and there was one black dude. I'm gonna tell you what deterred black folks from playing hockey. This the real thing, G. It ain't even a skating.
What they hit him with the stick?
It was one black dude about 5 or 6 years ago that was one of the first ones to actually play and get playing time. Got cracked in the head with a stick and they cracked his skull. No joke. Look it up. I can't remember the cat's name right now.
I don't think he was the first black person to play 5 years ago because
no, he wasn't first. I said he was one of the first ones to get in there and get playing time.
Oh.
Well, Jackie Robinson
Jerome Igna from Calgary. He was one of the first black hockey players.
What is the dude the first guy putting the? Let me say it this way. Then.
Well, they had a black goaltender.
Hey, they was just trying to. Hey, Jackie Robinson got beat with a bat, so they figured like, hey, we got to initiate you in the house.
Well, that's why we have to have power in numbers. So you got one black person on the team. Yeah, white people are going to take European whatever dudes are going to take advantage of that fact. However,
true. If 4 brothers come skating out there at the same time.
If 4 brothers come skating out there at the same time, there's going to be hell to play. That's right. So you call me what? You call me what?
If 4 brothers get out there and start
you do know I got a stick.
It's gonna be because they call trios. And you gonna hear an old school record come on.
Oh man.
He is so wrong for that.
Hey, we have a good time on this show, y'all.
For sure. So speaking of Roger Goodell, I'm pleased to announce to you, B. Strella, that Roger Goodell might be having a step down next year. Not from his full position, from player discipline.
I heard about that.
His handling of all those different situations that came about and how he liked to make it up as he go. There's now a petition out there within the league to get him removed from all player discipline situations.
They need to get rid of him, period.
But then you leave him to the business aspect, which is what he's supposed to be doing anyway. Leave him to the business. The commissioner normally runs the business of the league itself. Yeah, they get involved with the disciplines and the rule making and all that kind of thing. But I think they're moving. The thing that's on the table now is moving to arbitrators, a group of arbitrators, that 3 people that they'd have to go to and present cases to for different discipline. And then they're going to come up with a set of rules based on whatever the situation is that they're going to have to be the basis for everything, rather than Goodell saying, this dude, 2 games. You did the same thing? 6 games.
So these grown men have to have a mama and daddy.
Pretty much, rather than Goodell be the one that, because he was just, again, we brought up Ray Rice earlier.
Why don't
you suspend Adrian Peterson for the whole year for whooping his son, which we know parents should whoop their kids if they do something wrong. At least I believe it. But
I mean, see, that's my point. How do you? I work for you.
Mm-hmm.
How in the hell do you get to tell me that you're gonna discipline me for disciplining my son or getting into a domestic violence situation with a significant other? What does the NFL have to do with these things?
I agree to a certain extent. The thing about it is they have written into their contract that they get in trouble with the law that they can step in, and they agreed to. That's something they agreed to in their CBA, collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah,
so.
but that's to me. That's just me. That's another part of systemic racism, because these people run a sports franchise, right?
Not people's lives. Y'all get it.
The fact that they want to put in their contracts that if you do this, that, and the third, we don't have to give you the money that we promised to give you. That's just crazy. I mean, guys that go to work at Chrysler every week, or you at your job, or be at his job, don't have to worry about if he disciplines his child that he's going to lose his job.
Right.
Because it's not their business.
True. And just to use that same example, a CPS investigation.
You know what makes
that doesn't levy any ton on a CPS investigation is not going to levy any criminal charges against you. Your job not going to even know about it, to be honest with you. And his situation wasn't anything criminally negligent that he did in the way he handled his son.
But how do you?
So I don't get it.
How do you? If you're, I don't want to paint with such a broad brush. But the biggest crooks in America is the folks that own these teams.
That run the teams.
That's America.
And then you're gonna say, well,
corporations run the country.
We're going to call player 13 in to talk to him about hitting his wife from the back.
Too hard. She better hit her head on the headboard.
Yeah. She got a hickey. This stuff is just getting out of hand, man.
I
you know
agree.
Why? Because they're giving them so much money. That's what makes them entitled to them. I'm not saying it's right, but that makes them think that they're entitled to tell somebody else what they should and shouldn't be doing.
But here's the thing. Here's the only
and
way.
They should tell them what they should and should be doing on the field in the locker room.
Now, here's one thing where
yes, this is true. I'm talking about all aspects of life. I'm not just talking about the football
NFL
field.
man is so full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with the homosexual guy who kissed his lover on TV the day that he got signed.
Michael Sam.
Yeah. Where is he now?
He was playing in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, he got cut from them too.
Yeah. Okay. But guess what? They went through all this hoopla. Oh, we're the first league to openly draft
openly gay player,
openly homosexual man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then this dude goes to the practice squad.
Yeah.
Very quiet.
And then he got cut.
Very quietly.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's somewhere trying to tackle another dude.
But he ain't getting paid for it. Or is he?
But the NFL paid him so that they could use him. I mean, this league is really, really corrupt, man.
Yeah.
They had no intentions of this guy playing professional football.
He wasn't up to par from the jump. If you looked at everything he did, no
Thank
one
you.
thought he was going to be an NFL football player. You're right. It was all agenda based.
It's called Little Man but with Big Aspirations. For instance,
He had a big ass.
Jason Williams. Remember him?
Yeah, but he didn't talk about it until he was done.
But
he
was
already
done anyway.
playing. I'm saying
He
his
was
career was
done
over.
He was done
started.
anyway. Yeah, really.
His
But
career
I'm
was
just
over.
saying,
But it wasn't like that.
these players that come out are players that are not good. Okay, Michael Sams, he's all right, but he wasn't good.
He wasn't an NFL caliber
No.
player. Now, Odell Beckham, on the other hand, if he was to come out today, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
But he actually got some talent. We would see what would happen. I don't know.
But I mean,
That's
man,
what I want to see. I want to see a big name star come out and say, well, "Yeah, I like guys." I want to see that. I want to see how leagues would
they still try to
open up
make him the
that.
face of the
Yeah,
league like they're doing now?
exactly. I would say
Would it change
what
everything?
happened.
Well, he
What
certainly-
happened if, for instance, let's say what happened to Peyton Manning. Mister, I want to put balls in
None.
people's face,
None.
and he wants to be, he's a homosexual.
Nothing.
well,
So-
it actually does change things. I don't care what people want to say. It does change things because look at it this way. Even if you're a team, right? And you in the locker room and you walking around naked, right? 9 times out of 10, you don't even want females in the locker room while you're trying to get changed and get yourself together.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be an uncomfortable feeling. I don't care who you are.
And some of the players actually came out and said that. Said now, that makes me kind of feel a little uncomfortable. I don't know what dudes in here looking at me and who not.
Yeah, but
You don't know that anyway because
Yeah.
there's undercover brothers
So-
up in there, so you know.
So if guys feeling like that about
Somebody
other
is
men openly,
yeah.
what do you think? I mean, you gotta understand these kids been playing football since Pee Wee League,
Mm-hmm.
and all this time they've been playing with other guys who they thought were other guys
They like girls.
that like girls.
Mm-hmm.
But now they get to the pros, and they are forced to share a shower with a person who may be interested in them
Mm-hmm.
or may not be.
Uh-oh.
But the fact remains is that you giving the homosexual person the rights to be homosexual openly, but the straight person is now feeling that he's being slighted because he's forced to share the locker room with a person that may be looking at him in a way that he
Shouldn't be.
shouldn't be.
And the weird thing about it is, G, the way they're trying to push that agenda, man, if that straight person comes out and says something about
he's
that,
wrong.
he's wrong.
Yeah.
Now he's judging them, or he's some type of ist.
Yeah.
And it's not really that. It's the same way. For instance, you could be a guy that's married and love your wife to death. You don't want, just like you just said a minute ago, you don't want reporters in there while you change. You don't want some female reporter coming in there and then make a snide comment on the side about your package. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be seen as sexual discrimination, right? What happens if that guy makes that same remark and you come out and say something? You're gonna end up being the target versus the victim.
Yeah. Well, the players I can remember back when I ran a magazine, I can remember the NBA players, they were telling them that they had to allow female reporters into the locker room. And the guys banded together and said, okay, well, if y'all gonna force us to do that, they got whatever they see is what they see. So guys start sitting at their lockers butt naked. But the fact of the matter was, they didn't want females in their locker room until after they got dressed.
Mm-hmm.
But the league was saying, well, the male reporters are coming in, we can't discriminate. Well, it's not about discrimination as much as it is about privacy and people's dignity.
Yeah.
Some of them dudes might have had a little winky. Didn't want nobody to know.
Now you got a tabloid story out here. Talking about his pinky.
Man, look at Shaq. He terrible.
I'm telling everybody right now, I'm suing the NBA and I'm suing the doggone news station because they said something about my noodle and nobody else saw my noodle until now. So now I gotta get a surgery to make a ham, a sausage instead of a noodle.
Thank you, Shaq. But I mean, we laugh and we're joking about this stuff, but it's really, I mean, put yourself in the player's shoes.
Yeah, it would be weird.
I think the problem, and again, this doesn't just stem from sports, but it stems in the whole country's perspective. Period. Everybody's got to be PI, but there's got to be interests. It's PI when it's convenient for people to be PI. This is like this woman in the locker room case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, you shouldn't have women. It's just common form of decency. Period.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna let the men
go into a
reporters
women's locker
in
room.
the WNBA locker room
Exactly.
while they getting dressed.
Right.
Although you might, because most of them 80% gonna have a strap on.
But still, they got boobs hanging.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna be a problem.
Right.
Man in there, he was looking at her breast.
Yeah,
Hey.
well, but they think they breasts is muscles.
Start flexing them.
Yeah.
Their booties too, huh?
Yeah. But
Skylar Diggins
it's
kind of hot though.
I mean, man, it's strange the way we living now in this country. It's really getting to be weird, man. It's like heterosexual people have to be afraid that someone's going to get mad at them because they really believe that a man and a man should not lay together, and a woman should not lay together. And then the heterosexual person is a big sports fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he has to dumb down his beliefs and his thoughts because of what everybody else is going to think of him if he voices his opinion.
He's gonna get tried and convicted in the court of public appeal.
Yeah, I realize that sexuality doesn't have anything to do with competing and athletics. I understand that. But when you put on the players' shoes and look at how they may feel about it, it starts to get really, really strange.
Well, that's because America is great with making people labels. And that's the reason why people have the fears that they have, because everybody's a label.
Go back to
You're
the box
black.
comments earlier.
You're too light-skinned. You're homosexual. You're this, you're that. And then once that's ingrained into your heads, because it's ingrained into your heads ever since the day you're born.
That's right.
If you live in this country.
That's right.
So you'll carry that on, and you'll be like, if none of that would happen, if none of that was put into people's thoughts, people wouldn't give a damn what sexual orientation you were if you were in a competing atmosphere.
Yeah. And I mean,
because you wouldn't have any consciousness of, he's gay, he might be looking at my. That wouldn't even be a thought in your head. That's just a person that has a choice. It's just like people. It's like people that are in a locker room in it with religion. Somebody could be a Protestant. Somebody could be a Jehovah's Witness. You know what I'm saying? It's the same concept. People are afraid of what has been told to them, and people suck that stuff in. And half of that is done with the media. The media puts that crap in everybody's head.
And the weird thing is, the first person to come out and say something about it, the second person, if they got a problem with it, they're the criminal now.
Right. Exactly.
So
do you think? Okay, you watched how ESPN and the NFL played up this thing with the homosexual male, but when a heterosexual male gets drafted into a professional franchise, you never hear anything about that kid's girlfriend. Mm-mm. They don't even want you to think that this kid has a girlfriend.
That is true. Stop.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now this guy, since he's supposedly the first openly gay male to be drafted by that particular league, they come up with this big marketing and promotional scheme to make it look like they're just so above board with all people.
All they were trying, it was all
and
a
it's
ploy to bring in a different demographic to grow the sport.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Money.
Yes.
That's all it was, man.
Because
money.
If one of our sons is drafted, if he doesn't go to the draft and be on TV, he won't be on TV until he play on a game.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, man, it made, well, I don't know if it made international news, but
it made national news.
It absolutely was national news.
Definitely.
And now this guy is gone.
So, and in talking about this league and its weirdness and getting away from the whole trying to get Roger Goodell out of levying punishments and things of that nature, you got a guy like Martavius Bryant, wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, now getting caught for marijuana usage yet again. He was already suspended 4 games last year and forked over like almost $600,000. Now he's suspended for the entire year.
Yeah, but are you going? Excuse me, P. Brandon. But are you going to allow marijuana in this country, or aren't you?
Wait, which way is it going to be?
Which way is it going to be? Are you going to have legal dispensaries or not? Because if you put marijuana out to the public for public consumption, how can you turn around and tell a grown man that he can't smoke it?
Well, first of all, I want to know how the NFL thinks they can do that certain thing, considering there's 2 states that have football teams in it that are allowed to smoke weed: Colorado and Seattle, or Washington.
Yeah.
And Colorado, Denver. So if somebody in Denver smokes weed, the NFL comes down on them because it's substance abuse. No, my state says I can. So what the hell? I live in this state. I pay taxes in this state, and I'm part of this football team in this state.
Because some of these franchises think that they're as powerful as governments.
Well, that's what it is. It's the NFL corporation.
But here's a question, though. With that, in those same states, and this is just me not knowing, I've never looked into it, so I'm asking you guys, if you work for, say, the post office, well, that's federal. Let me go to a more local. If you work for Walmart in Denver, Colorado, and Walmart has a no drug policy, can you smoke marijuana if you live in Colorado?
No.
Working for Walmart.
No, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why it's so stupid. Walmart can have rules for their company that don't necessarily have to coincide with the rule of law.
Okay.
But that's crazy. You know why? Because Walmart pays taxes to the government.
So why aren't they able to operate under the... Yeah.
So they should be forced to have to go by the laws of the land.
And the only thing I know that their rules, as far as how they levy punishment, can't supersede the law as far as some things go. Now, I don't know the small things like the smoking of the weed and whatnot.
Well,
I don't know how far that goes.
Look at Brady. He appealed his suspension to an actual court.
Court is part of the law.
Exactly. See,
I see what you're saying.
It's just too much stuff going on, and we don't even understand how it works because these people are always changing the rules and doing things off the cuff.
And they all over the place with it. Hence the investigation into Roger Goodell and trying to make him step down. All over the place with it. You ain't consistent across the board.
And especially in football. I mean, guess what, man? Those dudes take a pounding. And maybe some of those guys are smoking weed to relax.
Or to take away pain, because it's actually pain doctors prescribe
medicinal uses.
So no joke. Pain doctors prescribe marijuana
recommend
to help pain.
They recommend it.
Yeah, they'll write you a prescription for it.
Yeah. Marijuana in its true form is not a drug. Do you know that this country was built on hemp?
Dude, but think about it. They just haven't found a way to profit from it yet.
Do you know the reason
from
why?
From a governmental standpoint.
Do you know
That's
the
all
reason why marijuana was outlawed?
Because so many folks of color was making money off of it. That's what I believe.
No. It was because somebody came up with a new way to make paper. Because hemp used to be paper. And once they decided to kill all kinds of trees to make it and at a profit, they said, okay, we're going to find some way we can make weed a bad thing, and then we're going to get money off this profit of paper. And you know, this happened in the 20s. They made a big stink about this accident that happened in the intersection in New York. I believe it was New York. And this guy was smoking weed. So guess what happened? They made a big stink out of it and said, oh, weed caused traffic accidents. It's like the bullshit they be talking to you about weed does now. Oh, weed makes you slow. It doesn't make you effective. Your brain cells die. Get the fuck out of it. No, it don't. Cocaine does because it's a man-made substance. It's made from opium, but it's made from man-made. This weed cannot always be pure either. Weed can be tainted with chemicals too. But I'm talking about weed in its purest form. I'm talking about weed that these kids are out there smoking now, getting all 10 times
But
high.
here's my point of when I say the government hasn't found a way to effectively make money off of it yet. Think about way back in the 20s that you just brought up. Alcohol was outlawed.
Mm-hmm.
Tobacco was outlawed till they got taxed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you on path, but here's the thing. America cannot grow marijuana like Mexico and Colombia and those places.
The grounds aren't made for it.
Right.
I don't know about that. Like I said, they
it's a lot. You got
the nation was built on hemp. I'm telling you.
Well, it may have that may be
before
true,
slaves. I'm not trying to be funny, but before slaves were made to pick cotton, they were made to pick hemp.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I don't doubt that at all. What I'm saying is, the government, the reason that they're not just 100% in the bed with marijuana being sold right now, is because they know they have to import it. See, yeah, you got guys around here that are growers that are running stores and whatnot and have a crop.
Mm.
But if you legalize it, then it's going to have to be abundantly in the marketplace.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't figured out a way to
corner the market.
Yeah, because they would have to get in bed with Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
In order to supply.
I don't know if they could get better in Mexico. They would just have to find alternatives. It's just like the gas situation.
They started a war.
A lot of stuff.
They started a war.
A lot of gas that we get, a lot of oil that we got was from the Middle East. But Obama put it in place. Said, you know what? We got oil around here too now. So let's get some more oil derricks around here and drill for some more oil. Even though he's trying to do.
Yeah, but you can't do weed like that.
Well, yeah, you can.
There's good weed and there's bad weed.
well, we better get with Jamaica and make them part of our. We gotta get with Jamaica and get them part of our 50 states here and acquire their state and say, hey, Jamaica, hey, how would you like to make some money for the United States?
And this ain't just my family and all those other people listening, all of our fans. It's not us saying, hey, do drugs. No, it's not what we're saying at all. It's not saying we're down. My thing is, you can't straddle the fence.
Either it is or
it ain't. Don't
Right.
straddle the fence.
Right.
Make a definite determination and let's move on.
I mean, in all actuality, in all honesty, I have a good time doing our show, talking sports, rather than watching sports anymore. I mean, it's just the truth. Professional sports it's terrible. It's like, is the commission in these franchises now, do they actually think that they're lawmakers?
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah, the politics of the sports are just.
It's just
it's overshadowing the sports.
So and so
itself.
got in a fight at the bar. Oh, he gonna be suspended. Well, how you know somebody didn't just walk up to this dude and slap him upside his head,
Right.
and he had no other alternative but to defend himself?
Right.
But I think that all of that stuff needs to be taken out of the picture, man. If a person did something wrong, let law enforcement do their job like he's any other citizen, because at the end of the day, that's all he is.
Uh-huh.
His job is just being an athlete.
Right. And if they happen to send him to jail where he can't report to work no more, then you can do something about it.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. But these people, man, they be like, the person is already looking like, well, man, I got to go to court. I got to pay this lawyer. I may even go to jail. And then he goes to court. He's exonerated in some cases,
Mm-hmm.
comes back to work, and to find out that he's been suspended for 2 seasons.
That's crazy. It's crazy. After the law said you did nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's just too much power over an adult person.
And you ruining their life. Because a lot of times, especially when you're at the highest level, it's even hard for them to get jobs at the levels under now doing the same thing. Like the CFL will cast people out based on what happened in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fair. And then, like I said, going to get to the point before we run out of time here. Maria Sharapova. So she's supposedly taking a drug that she's taken for years for my heart condition, irregular heartbeat or something like that, and diabetes traits in her family. Now, the drug itself wasn't on the banned substance list. As of 2015, all the tennis players were warned that this particular drug is under investigation. You can still use it now. However, if we find evidence that it's enhancing performance, we will ban this drug as of 1/1/16.
Well, why do these people have to use anything other than keeping their bodies in shape? And
It's all about the competition for some of
Well-
them, and some of them it's about the money.
Well, here's the thing about her. She claims that she's been using it for a medical condition for 10 years up until it was banned. Now, the drug that ended up ultimately getting banned was a different name than what her drug was. Well, my point is this, and this is just me, being smart about what I put in my body and smart about going to a pharmacy. Everybody knows that when there's
like heroin or something.
no, I don't do none of that. I'm clean as they come. But when you go to a pharmacy, there's a generic drug, there's a brand name drug, and then there are even other tiers of those particular two, generics and brand names. Just because your drug's particular name may not have been the drug that they're speaking on, there are other drugs that's the same drug that just have a different name because it's maybe the generic.
Yeah, but they don't ban the name; they ban
the drug,
the
the substance. Exactly. So she's saying in her defense, she was taking a different drug, and I'm trying to get the name of the drug while I'm talking about it. Maldronate is what she was taking, but she didn't know that it had. What is the new drug name? The other drug name. Sorry, guys. This thing is all messed up here. Meldonium.
Meldonia.
She didn't know it was
I went to school
Meldonium.
with her.
That do sound like a name in our.
Hey, Meldonia.
Sounds like a country.
Do y'all think she lying when she kept taking it after the ban was levied? Do you think she's lying?
Oh, I
And
know
should
she had some kind of
she's
relevance. She knows what she was taking. She has trainers.
She's facing a 4-year ban from tennis.
Well, she get
4 years.
She's facing a 4-year up to 4 years is what they're saying. She can be banned for up to 4 years from tennis. However, her endorsements, they didn't drop her. They just put it on pause.
Oh, they'll drop her as soon as she gets that ban.
If she gets the ban.
If she gets the ban. Well, she'll get the ban. She should get the ban. Because not only did they warn her about that drug,
and it was Nike,
and they told, and they not only warned her a year in advance about that drug, she still continued to take it after, and she knows what drugs it was. I don't want to hear no athlete tell me, "Oh, I didn't know what drug." You a lying bastard because you got trainers. You a lying bastard. You got trainers. You know you got trainers, and they tell you what you take. That's what their job is. That's what they get paid to do. Now, some trainers might slip it in there once in a while. Yeah, I can understand that. But most trainers are paid to tell you, hey,
Freddie Roach,
you dude, you can't take that drug. It's a banned substance. So we're gonna have to do something else as an alternative.
So you say she get the 4 year,
and she's a tennis player. Come on now, you gotta know.
Well, what's happening in
boxing,
combat sports?
That's right. Punch it in the face.
We got Victor Ortiz, Berto 2, finally going to happen after 5 years.
Wow.
Now, if you remember this fight correctly, this fight won Fight of the Year in 2011, I believe it was.
Well, we watched that at your house.
Very entertaining.
Fight night at Brandan's.
And we get down. Y'all know how we
get down.
Fight night at Brandan's.
Tacos,
Man,
nachos.
The best cheese dip in the world. I'm the best cheese dip maker. Everybody out there that's listening, you want some cheese dip?
Only thing I don't like about your fight parties over Brandon is just be too many damn women.
Man, it's too many. My family is full of estrogen. I got 4 daughters.
Wow.
Pray for me, y'all.
I pray for you.
Pray for me, y'all. But yeah, we got Berto Ortiz too. Not only did this fight get signed, Victor Ortiz spoke about it, right?
She did.
And she said Floyd Mayweather is not done, and he should give me a rematch. For what?
She just as crazy as Caitlyn Jenner.
This dude want to get knocked out again?
Man, listen here, man. Listen. These people hated this man to the core when he was active and ruling the sport of boxing.
And now they miss him.
Now, you got Oscar De La Hoya jumping around with his dress on.
And drunk at the same time.
And drunk, talking about the boxing game will be better off without Floyd.
He was drunk when he said that, Jay.
Victor Ortiz is going to lose this rematch.
To Berto?
Yeah, to Berto.
I happen to believe Berto is a better fighter than the first time they fought.
Yeah, well, But they should make a special belt, called the baddest bombs in boxing belt. And whoever wins that fight, they should award them that belt.
Oh, hey, it's gonna be entertaining though.
Yeah, it's gonna be an entertaining
fight.
Yeah, but
somebody's going down. There'll be multiple knockdowns again.
It's amazing how one thing can happen in a sport and it changed the whole complexion of the sport. Now, since Floyd is retired, people are forced to make fights.
Mm-hmm.
They have to make fights now just to keep the sport vibrant.
Right. And they saw this fight and how many viewers it garnered and said, we got to do it again.
Well, and then you have Canelo Khan.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be a pretty big ticket fight.
Yeah, and everybody's really looking at it like Khan is overmatched, but that's going to be a wonderful fight.
And this will be the first fight I bought outside of a Floyd Mayweather fight in about 8 years.
Wow.
That's how intrigued I am by this fight. I'm going to get it.
I don't want to pick a winner in that, but I'll just say this. Canelo had a lot of problems with speed.
Let's break it down later. We'll break it down at a later date when it gets a little closer to the fight.
Yeah.
And we'll have a whole little segment on it on Sports Talk. Now, speaking of Canelo, Gennady Golovkin says if Canelo gets past this fight, because Canelo currently holds the WBC middleweight belt as well as the junior middleweight belts that he has.
Right.
Golovkin is the #1 contender in the WBC right now. So he has belts of his own right. He says he's not agreeing to any fight with Canelo at any catch weight. If he wants to fight a middleweight fight, he's going to fight it at middleweight or we not signing. That's what Nacho Beristain said.
Well, here's the thing. He's saying that, but he's fought every dead corpse that they could go and possibly dig up.
You think that's him running from Canelo?
Well, I don't know if it's so much that he's running, but he feels that at 160,
he has the advantage.
He's dominant.
And I broke it down this way. I kind of said the same thing, and I said because now, for him to get down that extra 6 pounds to fight at 154 or either at a catch weight at 155, he's going to say, I got to work harder to lose that extra weight, is what he's going to say.
But, Brandan, the truth of the matter is that it doesn't matter because he's going to come up. If they fight at 155, 154, which would be the proper weight, he's still going to show up on fight night at 160.
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree with that, but I'm just saying I can foresee the excuses that he would make. I had to come down on so much weight. It took a lot out of me in training camp, so we don't want to do that. And he's thinking that, Canelo ain't going to bring that power up to middleweight. I can take his punch. He's a smaller guy. I'm naturally bigger.
Well, I can see his point because the only reason that I can see his point is for this right here. Canelo is holding a legitimate middleweight title.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can't defend that middleweight title at the weight classification that title was made for, I think he should have to forfeit the title.
And that's exactly what's going to happen if they don't agree.
Yeah, I mean,
he's going to get stripped.
Yeah, I mean, if he can't defend that title at 160, because the limit is 160.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say
you gotta weigh 160.
Exactly.
You just can't weigh over.
You just can't weigh over 160. So if he wants to unify the title, and Triple G is the other title holder,
mm-hmm.
if he wants to unify, then it should be on him to get to 160 or not get to 160. But you got to defend this title. See, that's what, again, you got a league doing all kind of stuff to make it worse for the fans.
Mm-hmm. The fans want to see it.
The fans want to see the fight.
And that's assuming he get past Khan. Because I'm like you, I don't think that's an easy task.
Yeah.
I think if you catch Khan square on the chin, Khan going down, because we know it's just about catching him. He's fast. He got speed. So it's about catching him, but we know he can get dropped. He's been dropped plenty of times before.
But see, when I'm judging a fight or I'm trying to learn more about boxing, I never bring a guy's jaw into question. And it's for this reason. styles make fights. Just because this guy has a suspect chin does not mean that you're going to hit him on the button.
Right.
See, some guys you have to catch them square on the button to put them down.
True.
Some guys you hit high on the head and it has no effect. That same guy who you said has a glass jaw, if he doesn't give you his jaw, then it's going to be a different fight.
True, I agree with that. But the only thing that he's going to have to rely a lot on his speed defensively in that fight, that is.
Yeah, but he
He
relies on...
he don't got a trainer in his corner though. Because Freddie Roach ain't about nothing.
Well, he's not with Freddie Roach.
He dropped him?
Oh yeah, he's been left Freddie Roach.
I thought he was still with him. That's my fault.
That's why he was pursuing the Pacquiao fight.
Wow. So I thought that Bob Arum said that fight wasn't happening because he's
over there with Virgil Hill now.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a very interesting fight.
His defense should be up to par, and he under Virgil Hill.
Well, see,
it should be taught. Let me say it that way. That whether he brings it into the ring or not, that remains to be seen.
Exactly.
But we know with a trainer like that, that's going to be at his forefront defense.
Yeah. But the thing of it is, he always has relied on speed. And speed is a very, very big tool in boxing.
Oh, yeah.
But to me, it's how does Canelo come in? If Canelo comes in shape like he was in his last fight for Cotto, it's going to be a long night.
That body work, though. I love Canelo body work, man.
Well,
when he go to the body and commit to it.
One thing I like about Canelo is that he's not a liar. He stated how much he learned losing to Floyd. And he showed what he learned in his last fight defensively. If you really break that fight down and look at it, he fought a very strategic fight against Cotto.
He did. And I'll agree with you because I remember before, like, dang, man, his face is just hitting Floyd in the face all night long.
Yeah.
He was slipping a lot of Cotto's punches.
He was slipping a lot of punches.
He was, and counter punching him, too. He was catching him with a straight, a lead right hand out of nowhere without even throwing the jab, which is something Floyd did successfully against Miguel Cotto.
Yeah.
So I think it's an intriguing fight. I want to see him. I want to see that. I'm going to purchase that one. But I also, after that, want to see if Canelo wins. I want to see Canelo Golovkin. So I hope they get some type of agreement in place just so the fans won't be cheated of something that we all want to see.
I think Golovkin is an exciting fighter. However, I have not seen him face good opposition. And the jury is still out on this guy. I'm not going to put him at superstar status yet. I need to see him fight an Andre Ward or somebody. They saying he's a beast, he's a monster, and all of these things. But when you look at his record, man, I didn't know nobody he had fought.
Yeah. But I only know a couple of them because I seen them when they was up and comers way back in the day, and they ain't really make nothing of themselves. Like, who was Willie Monroe Jr.? I went to school with somebody with a name close to that.
Yeah. Well, they say his people called him when he wanted to fight B. Striller.
Did you take that fight, B?
Hell no, I was about to get my ass kicked.
Yeah, you're right, man. I'm gonna tell you the biggest name that I see so far on this dude's record, and that's Daniel Gill and Matthew Macklin.
Yeah, see, but he's a killer. He's a big pay-per-view star now.
And he knocked out an old Kasim Uma.
Yeah.
Old Kasim Uma. Young Kasim might have survived.
Yeah. Well, y'all, it's about that time. I enjoyed it, and
Yes,
I had
sir.
a good time. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, man, you know how we gets down. I always love it. Sports Talk Uncut, G.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like us out there, man.
No, it ain't nothing like us.
Ain't nothing like
That's
that.
for sure.
Man, I heard somebody describe it the other day. I was like, he hit it on the button. They said, this is like going to the bar with your boy, chopping it up about sports without being interrupted.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Well, we had one.
Thank you, Mark.
I had a fan send an email in asking when was we going to get Ike a bigger chair.
Because he keep on leaning back, busting the chairs.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have that problem today. I'm not saying it's you.
Y'all know how we gets down, man. It's Sports Talk Uncut. Real sports talk for the fans.
By the fans.
We'll see y'all next week. Let's go.